This episode is brought to you by La Quinta by Wyndham. Your work can take you all over the place, like Texas. You've never been, but it's going to be great because you're staying at La Quinta by Wyndham. Their free Bright Side breakfast will give you energy for the day ahead. And after, you can unwind using their free high-speed Wi-Fi. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book your stay today at LQ.com.
Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to the Patriot Brief.
Hey guys, this episode today is brought to you by Blip Billboards. Spring break is coming up, guys. And do you know that more than 56% of Americans are planning to travel this spring season, with 30% traveling during spring break? That's an average of 8% of an increase from last spring break of 2021. Follow consumers, guys, outside with your next billboard advertising campaign. Get started. Sign up on blip.com. That's right, guys. Blip. Blip Billboards will help you out. Check them out today. You can Google them. They have phenomenal type of services and everything else. Blip offers packages and also plans. Check out Blip's 3 different subscription plans that will give your business greater visibility and reach. With their Silver plan, $500 plus per month, or about $17 a day. They have their Gold plan, which is $1,000 plus per month, or about $35 per day. And thirdly, and last but not least, they have their Platinum plan that ranges from $2,500 plus per month, or about $85 per day. You can sign up for their monthly packages or their per-day deals. Each of these plans include additional advertising credits, free billboard designs, and additional support from their billboard specialist. Check out these plans today, guys. You're going to love it. We use them here on the show, and I can tell you right now, guys, they are phenomenal. Check out Blip. Google search them, Blip Billboards. They'll come right up on your search browser. Sign up today. Create that next digital billboard to stand out with your customers, or if you're a podcaster such as myself, it'll give you more engagement with your listening base and your following. Check them out today. Blip Billboards.
Hey guys, welcome to another Patriot Brief. I'm your host, Michael Gardner. Guys, these shows are basically just, small little shows that are put into the weekly lineup, whether it's our Twitch shows, our YouTube shows, even our regular podcasting shows, the Patriot Angle Podcast. So I'd like to put these shows, just squeeze them in during the weekly lineup, give you more content that, you guys need. You deserve it. You deserve to hear all the content on the show. So today I want to talk about just basically what's going on with Uber and Lyft. Uber and Lyft is adding a fuel surcharge to its rideshare program. Every ride is going to have on the bottom before you hit accept that ride, or as a rider, if you need a ride, you're going to see what's going to say on the bottom, fuel surcharge. Now, the article here that I'm reading here, guys, is saying basically that Uber and Lyft drivers say that the fuel surcharge is an insult to drivers. Now, I'm not really sure where they're going at with that. I mean, as a Uber and Lyft driver, guys, I would be very, very happy to even get, a few bucks, added to my pay. It not only does it help out my fuel, as a driver, especially in these times, with our rising gas prices at historic highs. Nearly half of Uber and Lyft drivers in the U.S. Are now quitting or are driving less due to the high prices, right? And this is basically saying it's caused by Russia's war in Ukraine, despite temporary fuel surcharges. Now, a lot of people are saying that, like I said, the gas prices are, in relevance to the conflict, with Russia and Ukraine. Okay. Is that supposed to be like a slap in the face to us Americans? Is it? I don't see this crap. I mean, all I see is bad negotiations on Biden. I mean, But despite the temporary fuel surcharges added to the fares, because these are only temporary, folks. I'm told that these are going to go away, supposedly after the gas prices come down a little bit. And this is according to a survey shared by TechCrunch, which put this article out, and these surveys out on social media and the rest of the internet world. It's saying that 43% of Uber and Lyft drivers still say they're driving less or have quit completely despite the new fuel charges. Harry Campbell, the founder of CEO of the Rideshare Guy, a blog and a podcast dedicated to helping rideshare drivers earn more money and stay on top of the industry news. This compares to 53% of drivers, folks, say that the same before the fuel surcharges were announced. Also stated by the Rideshare Guy, originally polled drivers on how they felt about rising gas prices, collecting 325 responses from Uber and Lyft drivers between March 7th and March 11th via email and social media. When the surcharges were announced in mid-March, a fee of 45 cents to 55 cents per ride for Uber drivers and Uber customers, right? For Lyft, a 55 cent for Lyft customers go directly to the drivers. So that's good. I mean, it's poll was, basically sent out by the Rideshare Guy. This poll was polled between March 22nd and March 24th. And this time, between that week right there, just about a week, folks, this collected 252 responses from people participating in this survey poll. Now, many drivers say that the fuel surcharge are not enough, and they would have to prefer to see a per mile surcharge to account for the increased fuel expectancy on long trips instead of a flat fee, says many drivers. Now, a Lyft driver in Orlando, Florida told TechCrunch the 55 cent per trip surcharge is an insult to drivers. Now, his name wasn't said for privacy issues, but I can see that, driving in Orlando, Florida, the amount of traffic, people have to deal with on a daily basis, or just like in any other inner city of the country. It's hard, And, what is also hard, folks, is it's hard to calculate the average rides per driver per day. But to put the fuel surcharge in perspective, if a driver averages 15 fares per day, guys, they will get an additional $8.25 per day at the 55 cent surcharge rate. That's really not enough to fuel the cars, like $8 a day. If they're driving, like on 8 to 10 hours a day, that's not enough. They would need it like on a double or a triple, almost triple, just to fill it up. Now, the average gas price, folks, in the U.S. is about $4.24 a gallon as of this past Monday. And this is according to the data from the American Automotive Association. Now, a year ago this day, the average was $2.85, and that was under the Trump administration. That was before we had any conflict with Russia and Ukraine, and we were actually, energy independent in this country. But both Uber and Lyft saw a year-over-year increase in revenue from 2020 to 2021, which both have said it is part thanks to increased trips to airports as post-pandemic travel increases. Now, airport trips are good for drivers, folks, in revenue growth because they typically are longer and therefore cost more. However, it is exactly trips like these that drivers say require more than a standard 55-cent surcharge. Now, what is that going to happen, or what is that going to be for the ride-sharing industry? Well, a lot of people are quitting, folks, because of the rising gas prices. Some even say that they have signed up for Lyft and Uber thinking that it was going to be, a good little side little hustle, a good mighty buck for their value of time. And they realize that it's not really what they say it is. Now, this is like a half and half type of scenario, folks. Now, I want to close it out because, like I said, these Patriot Briefs are quick and easy. This is something Uber understands, folks, and also Lyft understands as well. Although it has cost the company in the past, last April, folks, Uber has launched a $250 million stimulus package to incentivize drivers back onto the app after the pandemic saw drivers leaving in droves. Now, what is that going to say with this industry? Well, I can tell you right now, many drivers are fed up. Many drivers are leaving because of these rising gas prices, and just the increase in price, and really hasn't seen a significant difference and benefit the driver in the last few years. And a lot of it has to do with that, folks. A lot of it has to do with that. Reducing Uber and Lyft's take as the TNC, or increasing the per mile time compensation, are longer term requirements to maintain the available drivers in these high inflation times. Well, that's what's going to have to happen, folks. I mean, that's what's going to have to happen. Anyway, I'm going to close it out here, guys. I just wanted to pretty much kind of share this quick little article here with Uber and Lyft, with their, fuel surcharge being added into the rides. Hopefully that's going to help. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it will, the company will increase the rates for the drivers, and give them what they deserve. I mean, some of these drivers are, driving 9-10 hours a day, and they're only bringing home just a few $100s. That's not very much as a modern day taxi driver, if you ask me. The old school taxi drivers would bring home more money in that revenue. But I guess this is the modern version of taxi, right? Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in to the Patriot Brief, and we will see you tomorrow for our Twitch and YouTube show tomorrow night on Friday around 8 p.m., guys. Thanks for tuning in.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.